Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Dior, and this is Middara on Tabletop Simulator. Let's go ahead and get started. Everything's set up here. I don't think there's any other special encounter rules I need to note. There's an achievement that I'll try to get. Let's go ahead and reset initiative and get started. Okay, Course Collector goes first. So all tentacles move up to purple amount, so I'll go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to... Fortunately, this is going to be a little bit slow going because I have to do this for each tentacle. So we'll start with the top left one, 5 spaces. They move up to purple towards the nearest opponent to roll separately for each tentacle. Real quick. Yeah, they just keep going. That's crazy. Is there a way to destroy tentacles? I don't think there is. Even if it gets removed, it just gets put back over there. Alright. Tentacles are not affected by a terrain other than obstructing. Okay, so 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, next one. Goes 2. 1, 2. We'll go for that one next. We'll just do top to bottom for now. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can occupy the same space. Alright, and then last one. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. No one within reach 4. And no one adjacent. And they can't spawn any additional merc hounds because they're all on the board already. Alright, so it goes to Rook next. So Rook will go ahead and open things up with... yeah, unfortunately there's not many good places to put the font, which is a bit annoying. So we'll go ahead and get that started now. Actually, I think I'm just going to move. Let's move. We'll see what we can make happen here. Merc hounds go third or fourth, so that's something. So yeah, I'll spend a stamina to move. He moves 10 because of all the bullshit he has now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, 6, 7. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna go 9. I want to go ahead and provoke the break attack here. So I am not going to bother dodging. Yeah, I'm not going to bother dodging, so we'll just let him attack. So green die, red die. Alright, well that's a ton of damage. What I'm going to do for that is... you with an attack. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and use the once per counter ability because that's going to hurt a lot. I mean, that's 18 versus his 11. Well, let's see. So it's 18, so it would be 7 damage base. It's based off the tile you're leaving, so that's why I'm only going to take... I don't get the plus -1 attack. And then any merc counts, including itself, that's within SOI adds +2 damage. So yeah, it's going to be 18 minus 11 is 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 14 physical damage base. Not much I can do about that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pop my... I'm going to go ahead and exhaust this, take no damage, and then it's going to do 3 damage back. I'm going to go ahead and exhaust this to do 3 damage to it since it did hit me physically. I still have to... there's still the follow-up of the Starburst, which does inflict paralyze at force 12. But what I can do is go ahead and exhaust this Ogane Blade to counter, and this counter may be used even if you're dealt damage by the attack. So I'm going to go ahead and exhaust this to counter. That will interrupt the follow-up, so I don't have to worry about the paralysis. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And then just make an attack. It's 11. It's not going to hit him, unfortunately. They have 13 defense in this one. And that will resolve the break attack, or the opportunity attack. So there's that. That was not pleasant, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do next is, how far away am I now? So, yeah, there's not much I can do about that. All right. So I will go ahead and spend my last 2 stamina to go ahead and do Courage Stifle. It's using a shield, so we'll just do that. So 5 plus 6 is 11 against their Conviction. All right, got 10, so it fails. I have 4 armor, so it's going to do 8 damage. So it puts at 11 out of 16. Then I'm going to go ahead and exhaust this just to roll a black die. And I do 1 more physical damage to it. So 12 out of 16. And that'll be it for him. Next goes to Remy. So Remy is going to go ahead and move. So the question is how strong are you? 2 strength, 2 lore, 2 strength, 2 lore. Okay, so not really an option. All right. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to fly. I think that's going to be the plan. I'm going to fly. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, I'll go ahead and move. No, I think I'll stay there. It'll work. So, just checking this. Make a separate again. Okay, so the reach, the Corpse Collector attacks everybody. So that's something I have to be careful about. So I think I'm going to go ahead and spend that extra stamina to go ahead and move a little bit further. Admittedly, this is a bit ballsy. Okay, I think this will work. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hang out here. And I'm going to go ahead and activate Summoning. I actually need their figures. I completely forgot to grab those. DM. Femke. And we're obviously going to use... Do I want to use Elifie? Yeah, I think I'll use Elifie. It's kind of tempted to use Zulfikar, but... I mean, Zulfikar is actually super tempting, simply because he's actually kind of tanky. Zulfikar. Flight, elusive, resistance, physical. Yeah, the only issue is he just doesn't have much else going on for him. So, I think I'll stick with Elifie for the figure. Hello, Elifie. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and activate Summoning. That's going to get me 4 summon tokens, which I forgot to grab. Summon. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Boom. Alright, so we'll summon both of these 2. They're going to start with 3 stamina each, as normal. Alright, so I can place them anywhere within SOI. So I'm going to place DM here. Actually, I'm going to put DM there and Femke there. I can do that because it's diagonals, and I do have line of sight. So with that, let's go ahead and add their initiative cards. Get that prepared. So all right, I want Femke to go first, I believe. Yeah, Femke can go first. All right, so that'll be it for Remy, it looks like. That's fine. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else I could do. I have to be adjacent to Merchounds because they're submerged. So that's fine. Okay. Could I have killed that thing? No, I couldn't have. Yeah, I was checking I could have done Lonely Mountain to increase Rook's armor temporarily. All right. So with all that said and done, let's go ahead and go to Femke. So Femke is flanking this Merchound 3, which is why I positioned her there. I'm going to go ahead and open things up with False Idol. So let's go ahead and exhaust False Idol. So she gets a free attack. That's going to be based off of Remy's dice, so which is going to be a red and a green. And Femke is always empowered when she's attacking. And then DM is always empowered when casting spells. So Femke is just going to be all about the empowered right now. She gets +1 to the attack because she's flanking. And we'll just go from there. All right, 11 +1 is 12, which is unfortunately a miss because these things have 13 defense, because of course they do. I'll go ahead and do everything you want, which makes it so she can re-roll at a miss. So we'll go ahead and roll again. 13. Okay, so 12 +1 is 13. That is a hit. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do much damage. It's going to do base 0, and then each shield will add 1, so 3 damage to orange. But since she hit, I can do Quick Blow, which will cost her 1 stamina to attack again. So I'll attack again with flanking. I miss because of Skull and really low shitty roll. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 more stamina to attack with Spear of Vel. And I'm going to go ahead and exhaust Brutal Slaughter because this is my 3rd or later attack, which will increase the damage by 6. Oh, come on. Alright, I don't have any way of re-rolling. So, actually, do I? Yes, I do. I do have a way if I can re-roll. So, Remy's right is within range. I'm going to go ahead and pop the Demon Voucher, because this was some bullshit. So, Demon Voucher. I can re-roll any dice rolled by a figure with an SOI. I'm going to re-roll the skull and hope I don't get the 1 in 6 again. There we go. So, burn that. That's okay. Alright, so with all that said and done... Oh, actually, I forgot about the extra damage. Since I was backstabbing, it would have been an additional 3 damage to that Merchound. Because as long as the twins are both together, they get backstab and resistance magic. Alright, so 13 + 1 is 14, so it's going to be base 1 damage, +3 because of backstab, +6 because of Brutal Slaughter, makes it 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It'll do 16 damage to it, which will just obliterate it. Okay. We do get loot from these first ones that spawn, so uncommon loot. And draw. 8 gold. So we're at 45 gold. Alright. And that is all of her stamina, so she can't do anything else this round, so Current's going to pull her down this way, I believe. Yeah, all the currents go straight towards the Corpse Collector. Okay. Next, it's going to be DM's turn. So DM is going to go ahead and just get moving. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and spend a stamina to move. She's going to go 1. Actually, she's going to try to jump across that spot there. So 2 purple dice. It's DC 10. Yeah, so 1, 2. And then I'm going to try to jump across this gap. Thankfully, I do have 6 agility, so that's going to be 10 exactly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how's this work? Attempt a ranged attack or spell. So it does not include melee attacks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to go 7, 8 to here. So that'll cost her another stamina. And then I'm just going to have her sit there for this turn. Okay, and then it goes to Zeke's turn. Zeke is going to go ahead and move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And gonna go ahead and throw some shit. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this shit at the Merchound. I'll throw a hand axe. 5 damage. That's enough to finish it off. Alright. Draw. 8 gold. Alright. Then I'm going to go ahead and put mage armor on Rook. So he's going to get barrier. There we go. Barrier on Rook. Then I'm going to go ahead and spend a stamina to go ahead and put haste on Rook. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip Badman's Book of Baddies and summon Elifie. One, two, three. We'll put her here. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'll flip this to show it's been used. I'm actually going to go ahead and activate Backpack and swap in the oversized club. And I'm going to go ahead and put Proof of Divinity on Elifie. So she's going to get Courage until she misses, which will probably happen very soon, because it's 13 defense. And I'm going to go ahead and activate Mend to get him 2 heal tokens. Alright. And yeah, I can't do anything to this Merchound because it's submerged, so not much I can do about that. Okay. And then with all that said and done, it's going to go straight into Elifie's turn, because she just got summoned. Okay. And yeah, goes to Elifie's turn. Let's go ahead and open things up with just a gore shot. Fortunately, Zeke has no casting die, so it's just going to be a straight purple die roll. 7 plus 6 is 13. Alright, fails it. So he's going to take 2. And then it's 2 times Summoner's highest level discipline. Zeke's highest level discipline is only 2. Yeah, he has a bunch of level 2s. So I'll do an extra 4 if I wanted to go ahead and soak the hit for that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 damage and do a total of 6 to it. So Merchound is at 6 wounds. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 stamina to attack. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 stamina to attack with Elifie. I have to use the same dice as Oversized Club, so it's going to be 2 teals and a empowered die. And we'll see what we get. Whole bunch of nothing. Unfortunately, the highest I can get on this is 12, which is not enough to play around with. Yeah, even with fortune telling, I wouldn't be able to pull anything off from that. So, fortunately, there goes Courage. Bye-bye, Courage. And I'm going to go ahead and spend stamina and take a damage to put barrier on somebody else. Thank you. We'll put barrier on. She'll put it on herself. That way she can try to tank a hit. Alright, and that is unfortunately it for Elifie. Can't get the kill on the Merchound. Goes to Merchounds. There's only one on the board, thankfully. Is there an opponent with a range 8? Yes. Make a range 8 attack against a person with the most armor. So can't do this because it's actually going through Elifie's square. So my choices are Remy, Femke, or Elifie. Elifie and Remy have 1 armor each. Femke has no armor. And Remy is furthest up on the initiative, so it's going to target Remy with an attack. This will have armor piercing 4. Remy will go ahead and burn a... She'll go ahead and use Lonely Mountain to dodge. So let's go ahead and roll that dodge first. Alright. So 3 shields, so she's up to 15 defense. This attack will be -1 because of shooting into hindering terrain. Alright, it misses, so we're good to go on that front. Can it move and attack multiple opponents? Yes. It can actually go to right here to attack multiple opponents. So move to be as adjacent as many opponents as possible. And then make a separate attack against each adjacent opponent. So it's going to move, but before it does that, it's actually going to provoke an attack from Elifie, I think. I'm just making sure. Merchounds are not affected by water and muck. They're submerged. I'm adjacent. So yeah, I can I should be able to attack this. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do the opportunity attack, and miss horribly. My rolls have been not great. All right, so Merchound's gonna move here and then attack each adjacent opponent. We'll start with Rook first since he's highest up on the initiative. Rook will not dodge, even though he probably should learn his lesson at this point. Well, he can't actually, so it doesn't matter. It's either that or I could force it to miss. That is an option. We'll let it attack first. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is 1 less than last time. So nanorobes, you can actually see the roll before doing the effect for nanorobes. I did confirm that, so I'm actually just gonna make it miss. Call it a day. So yeah, we'll go ahead and make that miss. All right, and then it's gonna go for Elifie. Elifie is nimble, so she does get her nimble dodge. So we'll go ahead and roll the black die here. And this gets +1 shield. And it's based off Zeke's defense, so it's going to be 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 defense, and then -1 to the attack because of hindering. Let's make sure that's right. So that's 14, -1 is 13. And I had 11 + 3, because you do get the +1 armor for the nimble dodge. Or +1 shield. So that is 14 versus 13, so it misses. Okay, good stuff. Then it goes to Nightingale. Nightingale gets +1 stamina because she is hasted, thanks to Puff Brand Classy Tobacco, which I forgot to actually put on our card, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright. Now, unfortunately, barbed arrows are not going to do much against a corpse collector, but that's okay. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and move. Spend a stamina to move. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to go ahead and open things up with a precise strike at point blank range. No empower. We're just going to roll normal. We get to roll a red and a green with this new cave bow. Okay, 13 is a hit. Yep, 13 is a hit exactly. It's going to do a whopping 1 physical because of the shield, and then 2 magic because of otherworldly. So it'll do 3 damage in total. Or sorry, this thing is unarmored, so it's going to do another 6 on top of that. So it does 9 because of barbed arrows. So that'll kill that completely. Alright, so that deals with the Merchounds for now, until more get summoned. And we got 8 gold. Just from curiosity's sake. 8 is not the lowest. It's the second lowest. Or sorry, it's the third lowest. Alright. So unfortunately that means we're not going to get any items besides what we came here for from the Corpse Collector. Alright, new round. Okay, Corpse Collector goes on that turn. Yeah, I think I'm tempted to go ahead and pager this and force it to go last. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Because the tentacles are going to go on Corpse Collector's turn. So yeah, I'm going to pop the pager now. Unfortunately, these items are not going to come back easily, which kind of sucks, but that's alright. Bye-bye pager. I can always buy a pager, so that might be something I have to do in the future. Okay, so yeah, I used the pager to force the Corpse Collector to go all the way to the back. Just making sure I did that right. At the start of the round, yeah. Got it. Oops. Alright, so goes Zeke first. Oh, also, Current pulls a Nightingale forward 1. Okay, so it goes Zeke's turn. He's going to get 3 stamina. And we're going to start things off by spending a stamina and putting haste on somebody. We'll put it on Elifie. Okay. And then what else do I want to do this round? We'll put Mage Armor on... We'll put it on Nightingale. I'll need to make these stack. I'll need to copy these stacks and put them back down the bottom where they belong. All right, and then Proof of Divinity. We'll put Courage on Nightingale as well. We'll just borrow this Courage. Okay, and then that's pretty much all of his stamina. So we're just gonna move. Is there anywhere I want to move? Not really. Anyway, I'm just checking something here. So the Corpse Collector will spawn, pretty much will keep spawning stuff unless there's people adjacent. So that's something to be aware of. But yeah, I think for right now, I'm gonna keep, I'm gonna move back and hang out for now. And that should be it. Because yeah, you can't attack the tentacles or anything, so I just want to stay away from them. I pretty much want the tentacles to go on the summons. Speaking of summons, it goes to Elifie's turn. She's going to get 4 stamina. Spend 1 to move. And she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. She's going to jump to here. 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the way to 6 there. So she'll use Remy for help. All right, 7 plus Elifie has 5 agility, so that'll be 12. So it would, even without Remy's help, it still was successful. Then I'll spend another stamina to go ahead and keep moving. 1, 2, putting her there. And then I'm gonna go ahead, since it's half range for spells and stuff, but I am within 2, so that's enough for me to go ahead and do Gore Shot. So I'm gonna go ahead and do Gore Shot from here. Okay, it'll be 5 plus 6 is 11. Yeah, it's gonna resist the spells. I'm not that surprised. And then besides all of that, I'm gonna go ahead and spend a stamina to go ahead and take a damage to go ahead and put barrier on Femke. Yeah, put on Femke. Okay, and then Current's gonna pull her forward 1. Oh, sorry, Current's actually gonna pull her up 1. So it puts her there. All right, and then it goes to DM. Moves right there. So DM is going to get 3 stamina. She's going to spend 1 to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the current's going to slam her against this thing, but I want to stay adjacent, I think. Actually, no, I can let current do the rest for me. So we'll just put her there. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up with a false idol. I'm going to go ahead and do resonance on top of it, so I can use stars to possibly cast spells. Now, her stuff is not automatically empowered for attacking, which is fine for me. All right, 16 versus their defense, which is 13, so it'll be 3 damage base. 4, 5, 6 from shields, so it'll be 6 damage in total. So it'll do only 3 because of the armor. So there you go, some damage. Next, I'll go ahead and do. Do I want to keep attacking, or do I want to try to risk a Ruination Spell? It would be a teal die empowered if I were to cast a spell right now. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'm going to cast a spell. It has to be empowered because it's DM. And I have to use Remy's casting die, which should be a teal. From the runes switchblade. Alright, no books on the empowered die. 7 plus 6 is 13. Okay, 11, so it actually fails. So I get to roll this casting die and do 6 damage to it. 6 magic. Boop, 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 boop. So there we go. And then next, I'm going to go ahead and take 2 damage, activating Blood Toll to give myself an additional 2 stamina. And I'm going to go ahead and cast one more time. Okay, 6 plus 6 is 12. 13. Okay, resist the spell. Alright, current's going to pull her forward 1. Alright, and then it goes to Femke. Femke will get 3 stamina. She'll spend 1 to move. So she's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me check something here. Okay, if an opponent starts their turn on the same space. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to jump across here 7, 8, using 1 more stamina. I'll have to use LFE for help for this one. So I don't think I can fail it. 5 plus 6 is 11, plus LFE's 2 strength, so that's 13. Yeah, so I can make the jump from here. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and just pop False Idol and make my attack. Has to be in power because it's Femke. Uh, 11 plus 1 from flanking is not high enough. Unless there's somebody nearby that can force a reroll? Nope, no one's in range. Okay, that is it for Femke, unfortunately. Goes to Remy. Remy's... Oh, it is Remy's turn. That's good. So, 3 stamina. Wait, what was the order for this? Oh, Femke, or LFE is actually near the Corpse Collector, so its armor has actually been debuffed by 2. So it only has 1 armor, so it actually takes 2 more damage from the attack that DM did. Alright, so 3 stamina, and I'm kind of considering my options here as far as what I can do. I think I'm gonna just start burning summon tokens and see if I can get the kill. I mean, I have to do 39 damage, which is not going to happen in a single turn, but it's going to be a start. Alright, so yeah, let's go ahead and pop our summon token, and we're going to use that summon token to attack with Femke here. So attack. Oh, I forgot to reroll. I forgot Femke could have rerolled. So yeah, we'll just let this be the reroll then. Which would have been 13, 14, which would have hit. So let me take this back real quick and go back to here. So I attacked with Femke. I missed just barely. I forgot about everything you want, which makes it so you reroll the attack roll. It doesn't even say may. You have to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So 13 is my reroll, plus 1 because I'm flanking, because reach does count for flanking. So that's 14. So this is against defense 13, so it's going to be 1 damage base, 2, 3 because of shields. So it's going to do 2 damage. And then, oh sorry, it'll do 2 damage and then another 3 because of backstab. Brings it up to 16. Then I'm going to spend the stamina to do the quick blow, because it did hit finally. And this time it missed, and I can't reroll it. Okay. Now she gets pulled forward 1. Actually, no, she doesn't even get pulled forward 1. She slams into Elifie, because that's how the currents work here. Yeah, it loops around that way. So both Elifie and Femke take 1 damage. Okay. So with all that said and done, let's go ahead and go back to Remy's turn. I'm going to go ahead and pop Summon Token. I'm going to attack with Femke now. And miss horribly. Then I'm going to use another Summon Token and attack again. 12 plus 1 because of flanking is 13, which is exactly a hit, because these things have 13 defense. So it's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 because of shields, and then 7 because of backstab, because of plus 3. Then minus 1 because of the armor, so it'll do 6 damage. Okay, that was the second shot. Then I'm going to go ahead and pop the third summon token to attack again. I'm also going to go ahead and exhaust for Brutal Slaughter, because this is the third attack on the same turn. Alright, perfect. 13, 14 because of flanking. So it'll do 1 damage base, plus 3 because of backstab, brings it up to 4. 5, 6 because of shields. And then another 6 because of Brutal Slaughter, brings it up to 12. And then minus 1 because of armor does 11, putting it at 33. Alright. And then I will pop 1 more summon token to attack. This one will not have Brutal Slaughter, unfortunately. And I got 12 with the flank, which is a miss. Alright, so that's it for summon tokens. We'll go ahead and move next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna fly. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's fine. We'll do that. Alright, and that is it for her turn for now. Then it goes to Rook. Rook is hasted, so you'll get 4 stamina. He'll spend 1 to move. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're just gonna move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops, sorry, cat, you're in the way. 1, 2, 3. All right, and we'll actually keep spending stamina. Go here. Go there, and then there. Or should I go there? All right, so I'll get him all the way to there. I'm gonna go ahead and pop Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pop Corrosive Ideal. Because that's kind of my only option, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm going to cast Corrosive Ideal. The reason why he can cast from here, it's half his SOI. His SOI is actually 6 because of the Hemlock and Sarah, and I'm within 3 range of the Corpse Collector. So I'm going to go ahead and cast Corrosive Ideal, targeting the Corpse Collector. So roll teal die. 8 plus 6 is 14. Alright, they get 14. Within SOI, I can go ahead and do force a reroll of the conviction check. So I'm going to go ahead and use Soothsayer's MP3 player and roll again. 13, which is just short of a 14, so that's perfect. So with that, also I could have flipped this Hasten Core for haste, so that was my bad. I completely forgot about that ability. So that's going to put poison on the Corpse Collector. Okay, and unfortunately that's it for his turn. He's going to get dragged to the right 1 step. Okay. Next goes to Nightingale, who's going to go up to max stamina. And I'm going to get her moving. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to go ahead and jump to that water there. Sorry. So I was at 5, spend 1 to move. I'm going to move extra, doing a jump. Okay, made it. 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, actually, I would have tried to jump for there. No, I wouldn't have. That would have been dumb. So let's count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. She is using this, so she does have 7 base. So that works out. Okay, I'm within 3 range of the Corpse Collector. I'm going to go ahead and open things up with a Precise Shot. I am not going to Empower. I'm just going to shoot. Yeah, I'm just making sure. Yeah, I'm just going to shoot. Go for gold. 12 is a miss. I'm going to go ahead and use a... So the max I think I can get on these dice is 18. So if I reroll the 5 and get slightly higher, I could possibly get somewhere. But you know what? I'm just going to take the miss. I'll use a Lightning Machine to make another attack against the same target. I'm not too concerned about the extra damage from Precise Strike. So attack again. Alright, 5. That'll be 14. I'm actually going to go ahead and re-roll the 5 and see if I can get better. Alright, perfect. It was either I was going to get the same or I was going to get better, because if I had gotten a 4, I could have done killed Messenger. So 17. And it's shooting through an ally, so it's going to be 16. 3 damage base, because it's against 13 defense. Just making sure or something. Yeah, so 3 damage base. 4, 5, 6 because of shields. 7, 8, 9 because of the Starburst, because it does 3. So 3 base, goes up to 6 because of shields, goes up to 9 because of burst. And then the 2 books I'm going to go ahead and use on Otherworldly to do go up to 11. Arrows are not going to do anything. So 11 damage, putting it at 44 out of 50. Then I'm going to go ahead and spend a stamina to Quick Blow. So as long as it's not from a Quick Blow, you can do this. So here comes the shot. Oh, actually, sorry, I forgot I had courage. Oh, actually, I missed, didn't I? Yeah, I forgot I missed with the courage. That's my bad. So the first miss actually removed the courage. I should have went for the reroll, possibly. That's okay. Anyway, I'll still do the quick blow. 4? Don't have any rerolls for that 4. Yeah, I don't. Okay, so that's a miss. Then I'm going to go ahead and use my fight drive to attack again. And miss completely. Next, I'm going to go ahead and do Hangover Elixir. Do I want a Hangover Elixir? I kind of want to kill this thing now. I really do. I don't suppose there's anyone nearby that can force me to reroll. Oh yeah, actually, I don't have a... I do have a demon voucher. I could have rerolled something. Well, what I'm going to go ahead and do is do the infection. Take a damage to reduce the cost by 1, and attack one more time. Alright, 15 minus 1 is 14, so base damage 1, 2, 3 because of shields, and then 4, 5 because of books, brings it up to 5. Oh, I did forget the 1 armor from that last hit, so we'll reduce it by 1. So yeah, we'll make sure I did that right. So 14, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I did 4 damage this time. Okay. And that's pretty much it for me. Unless I want to pop another quick, pop an elixir. Yeah, I think that's going to be good enough for now. So it's going to be Corpse Collector's turn. It has to roll for poison. Takes 5 damage, which is going to kill it. So here's the rules for this. The creature thrashes, causing massive damage in its final moments. All adventures adjacent to a tentacle token take 1 purple of magic damage. Then the creature goes still. Place the blue exit token on any unoccupied normal terrain space on the west side of tile UM33. Alright, so these tentacles don't do anything. And how much damage was it? A purple die of magic damage? Okay, so we'll roll 1 purple and see what we get. 3. I'm going to check to see if you round down. Okay, you round up. So 3 damage becomes 2 damage because Nightingale is resistant to magic, and so is Femke. Alright, and then Corpse Collector dies. Yep, and then we get a blue exit token on any unoccupied normal terrain space on the west side of 33. So I'm just going to grab a token, it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then you have to reach the exit with the token. Yeah, the adventure with the Corpse Lotus has to go to the exit. Bye-bye tentacles. Alright. That works. Okay, and then we go from there to... as the end of Corpse Collector's turn, now we're going to go ahead and cycle the round. Bye-bye Corpse Collector. So as mentioned, we do automatically get the player draws monster loot. If there's no monster loot available, you draw a combatant card. So what we get here is we get the Corpse Lotus. Discard during the shop and train phase to get 200 gold, which is quite a bit. That's enough for 2 items. We'll just put that in our inventory, and that'll be good to go. Alright, so we'll go ahead and shuffle initiative. Okay, DM goes first. So we'll spend a stamina to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that'll be it. Okay, then it goes to Rook. Rook is going to get 4 stamina. He's going to spend 1 to go ahead and put out the Font of Renewal. So the keyword is adventurers to get the achievement. So as long as the adventurers have no damage, it's fine. So Remy, Zeke, Nightingale, and Rook. So Nightingale is the only person that has damage right now. But just in case, I'm going to go ahead and put out a font of renewal. We'll just put it there for now. And then he's just going to move there. Call it good. Goes to Femke's turn. Anyone within 6 spaces of a font of renewal can get healed, so we'll go ahead and heal her for 2. And then we'll spend a stamina to get her moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put her there. Goes to Remy's turn. Remy hasn't taken any damage. We'll just send her flying back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. So I used up all of our stamina for movement. Nightingale is going to recover 2 from the font of renewal. We'll just do that. Okay. She's going to get 4 stamina because she is hasted. So we did use a number of items. I think we used 2 items. But that's okay. So we'll spend a stamina to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 10, 11, 12, 13. Then she's going to get pulled back 1. So that was 7, 9, 11, 13. Yeah. Okay. Gets pulled back a step. That's fine. Goes to Elifie. She's going to recover 2. Then hang out. Well, we'll just move her here. Goes to Zeke. He's going to go ahead and use Mend to heal Nightingale to full. So now everyone's at 0 damage except for summons. Goes to new round. We do get an urgency token because nothing is happening. Goes to Remy. Remy's going to hang out. Rook is going to hang out. Nightingale is at full. And with the rate the turns are going, we can actually heal everybody else up. So for the sake of simplicity, we're just going to go ahead and just move to here and call it good. She was the one with the Lotus, so that is the win condition. So let's go ahead and check the the results. Restore adventurers, each party member gains 1 experience, and then do the Financial Dilemma 181. So 1 experience, 1 experience, 1 experience, 1 experience, and 1 experience. Okay. And then, 181. Zeke examined the lotus closely as they walked, its golden petals shone even in the dim light around them. Do you guys know how much money one of these goes for? He asked, looking up at the others. Remy stopped at a moment and took it gently from him. No exact amounts, she admitted, but I can tell you it's always in high demand. My dad doesn't talk about work to me, but I have heard his workers mumble about them. We'd probably make a tidy sum. Careful! Nightingale stepped up and took the flower from Remy. This is the key to getting Tegan her daughter back from the earth. Forget about the money. Zeke shook his head. I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm sure Tegan is resourceful. I bet she could find another way. Or we can just wait, and when we go back to the capital, we can use our influence there to speed up the process. He looked to Rook, who was deep in thought. While our families are rich, I'm not seeing any of us rolling in money right now, Zeke said. We could probably use this to help cure Nightingale. Rook shifted. That money could really be used to buy things that could help you right now, Nightingale. You can't be seriously considering this. Nightingale looked between them, jaw open, eyes wide. I couldn't live with myself if we lied to Tegan. Plus, what if her daughter is waiting to come to Middara? Maybe she knows that this place exists and wants to come here. What if she doesn't? Remy shrugged. Coming to Middara isn't always a pleasant experience. Some of us loved our lives and families on Earth. In any case, you guys do have enough influence that I bet back in Alinea you could send someone else to help her. Zeke silently slapped Remy on her bare back, causing her to make a yelping sound. That's what I'm talking about. I don't want to be extorted to help Tegan anyway. That Harbinger wasn't very nice. Who knows if he'd even make it happen. Zeke looked between his friends expectantly. He wasn't sure he wanted to turn his back on Tegan, but there was no way to ignore how much money could be made off this tiny flower. Decision. The adventurer with the Corpse Lotus Corpse Collector consumable must decide what to do with it. Lie to Tegan, we can help her later, which is, we go to page 179. Or you give the Lotus to the Harbinger, and it's the right thing to do. So essentially, you can get 200 gold, in which case you may eventually go and try to help her out later. Though, let's be honest, we're on an adventure. We're not going to be coming back to Elenia anytime soon, it looks like. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a non-issue. I'm pretty sure I want Tegan's kid to at least know what's going on. So I'm going to go give it to the Harbingers. It's the right thing to do. Page 177, Lotus for a Child. I'm pretty sure my group's going to pick the opposite option if they get the chance. Lotus for a Child. Thank you. Thank you. There was no sneer on Lyle's face anymore, only respect. He snapped his fingers, and one of the guards from the door hurried over. Fill a bowl with water and bring it at once. The guard saluted, then vanished down a side door. Lyle rose to his feet and reached for the delicate flower with one hand. Zeke pulled it just out of Lyle's reach. Not yet. Tegan's daughter? Yes, of course. He fished the folder out from the desk. He scribbled for a few moments, talking as he went. I'll pass this through regional with the next caravan. I'll be in touch with Miss Patel as soon as I have news, or sooner if she wishes. He snapped the folder closed, then reached for the flower again. Zeke didn't pull it away. Good, Zeke rose. I understand the word of a harbinger is better than steel. If I hear you've lied to us, you will hear from my family. What do you need that thing? What do you need with that anyway? You don't look like much of an alchemist. Lyle tensed and glared at him. That information is not part of our bargain. All you need to know is that Tegan Patel's daughter will be retrieved. That much you've earned. He took the flower delicately in one hand. Fine. Zeke turned. Come on, Rook. Let's go share the good news. Finding the Patel mansion wasn't hard. They just had to find the largest, most sprawling estate in the area. It looked like Tegan was about to squeeze the life out of poor Nightingale when she hugged her. She didn't even bother to try and hide her wet eyes. Thank you for helping to put my family back together, she eventually said. So your daughter will eventually be coming to Middara? Nightingale was still being squeezed and had to speak at the side of Tegan's head. Tegan let her go. I hope so, Princess. Now, I just need to try and get her father to prepare for our arrival. That rascal is always so busy. She gave Nightingale one last smile. Maybe we'll meet again. Thank you, Princess. Discard the Corpse Collector consumable, new story flag, mark the Patel daughter to the adventure sheet. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, I did forget one thing, but I'll deal with that in a second. Where is Patel's daughter? I think I'm blind. I cannot see it. Leg wound, familiar dispute, experience, sloan, marked, judgment. There it is, Patel's daughter. Okay, we did forget about the achievement, so I'm going to go ahead and take care of that now. None of the adventurers had damage tokens. Only summons had damage tokens, and if I wanted to, I could have just healed them, so it's not a big deal. So you get healthy, wealthy, and wise, which is 50 gold. So healthy, wealthy, and wise, and we go up to 111 gold. Okay, all good to go there. All right, and then with that, we go back to the story round, 156. Alright, this video has gone on super long because the combat took forever. Actually, it didn't take super long, it's just I had a bunch of actions, and of course we had to control the tentacles, and I had to look up stuff. Anyway, so we're back to here. We obviously got a distress call coming. We do have money, and I would like to spend it. We have enough to buy a relic if I want to. I think I do want to buy a relic. I'm kind of tempted to buy the arrows at this point. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and spend experience. The only person that has 9 experience is Remy, so we're going to go ahead and spend it. So I have a few options for our tier 4 abilities. There's Failed Afterlife, which is the one where you can where you take souls of defeated opponents and make them into enslaved spirits. But remember the rules I stated about summoning. Even though it's been altered, there's still a rule of only one summon per person. So if she has a summon active, she wouldn't be able to use this anyway. The other option is Soul Bond, which gives me another summon token, which, since being a higher level assemblage, will also give me a summon token. I'll have a total of 6 summon tokens. And then whenever a loyal Esper you summon spends stamina to make any action or ability, they may spend stamina that you have available instead of their own. If either of your loyal Espers gain or lose a positive effect, you each also gain or lose that effect. So if Remy gets hasted, both Femke and DM would become hasted. Really, really cool. The last option is we could actually make her a spellcaster, in which case she can do 3 damage for each effect the target has, and then inflict darkness, disease, and paralysis, which is kind of neat. It only costs 1 stamina to cast, which is amazing, but it is an exhaust ability. And also, the first time you cast it, if there's no effects on them, it won't do anything. Now, effects don't necessarily mean darkness, disease, and paralysis. That includes things like poison, and even includes positive effects. So if someone has haste and barrier on them, you can do 6 damage to them. So in theory, if you had every possible effect on them, including paralysis, you would do, looks like there's 9 of them, it would do 27 damage. Obviously, you would probably not have every effect on them for obvious reasons. I think I'm going to do Soul Bond. Just because I'm not super confident about Remy's spellcasting ability with Rune Switchblade. And to be honest, I probably didn't really need to put Otherworldly on the Rune Switchblade, but maybe I can pass it on to somebody else. So, as mentioned, this will get her more summon tokens. We'll just make copies of the existing ones. So, we get 4 because of level 4 assemblage, and then we get another 2 because of 1 from Friends with Benefits, and then 1 from Soul Bond. So, 6 summon tokens. Pretty good. There's another way we can also get summon tokens. I believe we can get it through Last Laugh? No, not Last Laugh. Nope. I thought there was another way you could get that stuff. Oh well, not a big deal. But I guess more important than anything else, is the final summon. Agares. Agares is a Celestial Gygus. He is colossal, which means he is so our last thing was hulking. Colossal is essentially you ignore elevation because you're super big, and that's pretty much the gist of it. Also, I think you block like line of sight and all this shit. So we can find out real quick. Page, I believe it's 40. Or maybe it's not 40. It might be 30. We'll do 31. Tags, there we go. So Colossal. A figure with this tag ignores elevation and other figures when drawing line of sight, and figures targeting a figure with this tag ignore elevation and other figures when drawing line of sight. So this is actually super useful, because this means you can actually target a colossal creature without worrying about people getting in the way, which is kind of neat. You still have to deal with hindering terrain, which is a little strange in some cases. Sorry about that. Misclicked. Anyway, back to work. So, Colossal has flight and protection. Protection is where you roll the black die whenever you're doing a conviction check against a spell. Flight, of course, means you aren't really affected by any terrain, which is pretty amazing. Now, the other thing about Agares to know is his figure. Agares is a 2x2 figure. So he has to follow all the rules for 2x2 figures, which means he can't go through tight spaces. Any sort of terrain that would affect him, if he, for example, doesn't have flight, he only gains the benefit of terrain if it covers all 4 of his squares. So in the situation like this, he wouldn't be affected by current if he was like right here, because it's not on all 4 squares, and he also wouldn't get the benefit of hindering exactly because it's not on all 4 squares. So pretty crazy stuff. He has 4 movement, so he's not that fast. He has 4 armor, which is pretty much rook levels of tankiness. 1 agility, 1 perception, 6 strength, 6 presence, 4 lore. He has a free exhaust ability called Morbid Envy, where when making an attack, this attack gains plus X physical damage, where X equals one of Vicarious' combat dice. I believe you can do this while calculating damage, so you can just attack, and if you do good, you can do the extra damage. And of course, you can always pick the better die that works for you, so in this case, it would probably be the green die. Holy Strike costs 1 stamina and is an exhaust. You cast a spell against 2 different targets, and you deal magic damage equal to 2 times his summoner's total amount of disciplines. So right now it would do 8 because Remy has 4 disciplines. Gigantic Punch is his regular melee strike. It has the follow-up of doing push 3. And the force is equal to 6 plus the highest level discipline, so in this case it'll be 10. Then there's Horned Energy Blast, which is a 6 range attack, which does pull 3. So pretty much the same thing as Gigantic Punch, but instead you pull. And then there's Celestial Infusion, which is when making an attack, if this attack will roll lower than the target's defense, you add a purple die to Garrus's combat die pool and recalculate. And then every shield does plus 1 physical damage, and every book does plus 1 magic damage. So, yeah, Agarys is a beast, to say the least. And of course, since he's not fragile like Femke and DM, he would have 41 HP if I were to use him. Mainly the big draw about him is just the fact that he just doesn't, his Morbid Envy allows him to just pump out a lot of damage. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Only thing that really remains is whether or not I want to buy anything else. Rook he can buy a level 1 if he wants to. And I think I want to buy him a level 1. So I'm going to buy him I think I'm going to go another core ability. And I want to give him access to Wilt. So Crumbling Time, which allows him to apply Wilt. So this will give him a little bit more flexibility for his spells, because obviously poison becomes useless once everything's either dead or has poison. Wilt could be pretty useful, though. Alright, so that's going to cost him 5 experience, because he already had 2 level 1s. So we'll do that. I could buy another level 1 with Nightingale if I want to. I don't know if there's really anything I really super want. I think the only thing I can think of, because there's not really anything level 1 wise I think I need. Dodge, Murder Circus. Like the Shadows is probably the best one. Oh, here it is. Follow Through is not too bad either. You can just pump out a bunch of extra damage, but honestly I think I prefer multiple attacks. Yeah, so her only options is either Speed and Justice, or Like the Shadows. Like the Shadows is pretty good for the mobility, to be honest. Because this would ensure that she can move around without messing with things. And I think, as long as I don't do a move action, I can get the +1 to attack as well. So that's actually a pretty good combo. Not really anything I want from Marshall, I don't think. I mean, Hammer Helm technically would give me +1 physical damage, but that's about it. Counters, I don't need. Yeah, it's all melee strikes. Okay, so nothing from that. The only other option is trying to go for something like that gives me more mobility, period. The other option, of course, also is if we search here, we could pick up Forebode, which allows her to give her more dice to reroll with. But I think I'm gonna pass on that. I think I want to get Like the Shadows. That'll allow her to move without actually moving, which is kind of neat. So pick up Like the Shadows. Yeah, that'll allow her to move without, yeah, like I mentioned. So with that, that'll put her at 0, so she's not going to be picking up Blot Out the Sun anytime soon, but she at least now has additional mobility. I think that's a good call. The other option was to go Aspect, and that would give her more mobility as well, but then she still has to do the move action. All right, with all that said and done, the only thing that really remains is buying an item. If I want to buy an item at this point, I kind of want to buy a weapon. I kind of want to upgrade Remy's weapon to maximize her attack as much as possible. I do kind of also want to get the black arrows, but I think I could survive without it. Yeah, I think I can. I think I'm okay without it for now. So yeah, I think I want to go ahead and grab the Dweller's Longsword here, because if I go Dweller Longsword, I can get a gray die, which would pretty much make it so I can do upwards to my max roll will be 19. My minimum roll would become 8 essentially, so 8 to 18 8 to 19, I think it is. 8 to 19 for my rolls would be probably a good call. And it will cost me 90 gold, so I could swap those out. Yeah, swap that out, and instead of the red die, we'll have the gray die. Now, whether or not I'll use Agarys in the next fight, I haven't decided yet, because Femke and DM together with Soul Bond and getting hasted could be pretty amazing. Because then at that point, I could just, yeah, there's just a bunch of good things I could do with this. So that's kind of exciting. As for items, is there anything I could sell? Not. We could sell all of these. So we spent 90 gold on the Dweller's Longsword, so that's going to put us at 21. And then, yeah, I'm not going to have enough to buy anything, even if I sold everything I had. It would be 5, 10, 20, 30, 40. I would get 40 gold back, which is just not enough. That's okay. I think I'm going to do this. The not picking the black arrows might bite me in the butt. But we'll have to wait and see until the next encounter. Because the next encounter is going to wreck me really hard. I've done the fight before, but I actually screwed up a bunch of rules and also got pretty tilted on it because I didn't like how it was handled. But hopefully I can redeem myself on this playthrough with you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Sorry if it's a bit sluggish. Like I said before, I'm just kind of trying to get my bearings. It's also just the game gets more and more advanced the further you get along. It's just there's so many abilities you can play around with. So it's pretty crazy. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I am the Depressed Dior. This was Middara on Tabletop Simulator. See you guys next time.